beer tubers, welcome back to yet another episode. Yes, we're still here, deal with it, of Maxwell Starr's beer review. Tonight we're going to take a look at a beer from New Brunswick. It's not very often I get to look at a beer from New Brunswick, especially not very often I get to look at a new brewery from New Brunswick. We've got Pump House, we've got Picaroons, we've got Moosehead, of course, everybody knows what Moosehead is. There's Grimross, there's Hammond River Brewing. I've looked at a whole bunch of different New Brunswick breweries. This is the first time I've had a chance to sit down and review a beer from Brasserie de Petit Sault in Edmunston. And we're going to take a look at Tante Blanche, which is a Belgian Wit-style, like Hoegaarden beer. But yeah, white beer it says. Belgian white beer, 4.7% ABV. It says in 1797, an early heavy snow stops the hunters from returning home. Madawaska is in the throes of famine. Tante Blanche will save her colony by ordering the rich to share their food with the poor. Not unlike our old aunt, this white beer is mellow with a bit of bite. So yeah, Madawaska County is like Edmunston, New Brunswick, is right at the very top northwestern corner of New Brunswick. Very French-speaking area, and it also the Madawaska country kind of blends in with the northeastern section of Maine. Actually, like the entire region is considered to be all one region, and in some cases in the past has actually recognized their own independence from both Canada and the United States. So actually, a little bit of New Brunswick history. The New Brunswick border didn't have a defined barrier back in the early 1800s, and almost led to a war between U.S. and Canada that was called the Aroostook War. Google that if you're interested in finding out. And basically, it was like sometime not like 10 years before. It was 10 years before the American Civil War. They finally defined the border between New Brunswick and Maine, and blah 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 blah. Shut up, Nick. All right. So yeah, wit beer. Let's pop the top off of this one. See if it's any good. Now, the biggest thing I gotta say about this one here is that, for one, fucking cool. Stubbies. They brought back the stubby, which is really impressive considering this brewery opened up earlier this year. I think the very first beer that they had was, I'm going to take a look at it after, is Bob LaBeouf. And it launched, the inaugural keg of that was tapped in July it was. And so it's actually quite impressive that in that space of time, they've made it to bottles. A lot of breweries are still struggling to get up. They got the money to do it somehow, and they have their own bottling line. They're in a lot of the indie liquor stores across the province. And the cool thing about this is that it's so cheap. This bottle, $2.35 for a 355 milliliter bottle of Belgian style beer. But is it any good? Let's take a look. Ooh, it's very carbonated. Be careful not to let it overflow. And this is a gun glass here. And while that's carbonating, I am going just to take a quick snapshot for beer nerd purposes. No. It would help if I put the memory card in. A bottle of water over it. You know, I'm so lucky to have you guys watch my show, despite how boring this thing can be sometimes. I swear, I'm very entertaining. Sometimes. Anyway, let's put that down. Let's take a look at this beer. Very nice poofy head. Look at that. Lots of carbonation coming up through that glass. You can actually see it this time. 2 fingers head. Not nearly enough head. It's very... You know, for a wit beer, it's very golden. I was expecting a more... It's also very filtered. Let's see. Just mix it up a little bit at the bottom. Yeah, see, it's all sedimented at the bottom. I've had this bottle for a couple months now, and yeah, there you go. And there's the cloud. So the sediment all settled at the bottom. So if you're thinking like it doesn't look like a real wit beer, sit and stir it up a little before you pour it all into your glass. Otherwise, it's actually a very attractive beer. It's got a very golden appearance, which is it's not quite as pale as I was expecting for a white beer or wit beer, but it's not bad. So it looks good, and especially now that I've poured the sediment into it, it actually looks the part. But it is a little bit more golden than I was thinking. Is that a big deal? No, that's really splitting hairs. That's nitpicking. One thing it does do is smell the part, and it smells nice. It smells like got that light, faint orange, maybe a hint of orange peel, faint coriander. Not a lot, and not too cloying. Not much there, but it is there, and it smells nice. It smells like a really nice wit beer. It smells good. Put her down the hatch. Cheers. Spicy. It's almost a little peppery, like white pepper. Almost a little peppery. It is peppery. It's got a big white pepper taste throughout the mouth. Some herbal hops going on, but it's very like faint, almost spent hops. I think that part was maybe intentional. Mixing with the white pepper, and you get coriander, but not a lot of coriander. It doesn't slam you in the face with coriander like some do, like Rickard's White. But it all does this in a nice, light, effervescent beer. It's carbonated, but it doesn't sit that heavy. As you drink it, it kind of, I mean, it's not like as light as you might expect. Like I would think like maybe a Hoegaarden might be lighter. I've had lighter wit beers. Again, I'm nitpicking because it's really not bad. I gotta say I like it. I get that again, and I would get it again because I have had this before. The greatest thing about this is, even though they're a new brewery with stubby bottles and everything and the whole nine, they're selling this bottle for $2.35 a bottle. You can get a 6-pack of it. Hang on a sec, I got the web page of New Brunswick Liquor open. It's $14 for a 6-pack, which for a Belgian wit beer, that's pretty damn cheap, considering what you're getting. A great value. That is a fantastic value. So if you like Belgian wit beers like Hoegaarden or Rickard's White or Unibrew's Blanche de Chamblay or something like this, you owe yourself a favor to check these guys out, because they are brewing. They're brand new, but they're brewing a beer that tastes just like somebody who's been in the business for a long time. This is an excellent wit beer. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, it's not the best wit beer out there, but it's certainly a good one, and I would certainly recommend trying it. And the value is incredible. You really need to pick this up because you're not out much, and it's certainly worth the try. So, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review of Tante Blanche with the old lady on the bottle. We'll talk to you folks later. Cheers.